What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Today, we're going to talk about the WNBA's 2025 top 25 player rankings. But before we talk about that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment, tell anyone about the show, trying to get the ratings up a little bit, just a little bit. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the 2025 top 25 player rankings for the WNBA. Now, we'll talk about ESPN's rankings because they did rank them, right? But I'm going to give my expectations as well. So we'll start it off with ESPN's rankings. So as follows. Number 1, A'ja Wilson, right? Number 2, Napheesa Collier. Number 3, Breanna Stewart. Number 4, Caitlin Clark, okay? Number 5, Alyssa Thomas. Number 6, Jonquel Jones. Number 7, Sabrina Ionescu. Number 8, Nneka Ogwumike. Number 9, Jackie Young, and number 10, Kelsey Plum. So that rounds out the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. After that, you have number 11, Kahleah Copper. You have number 12, Satou Sabali. Number 13, Kelsey Mitchell. Number 14, Arike Ogunbowale. Number 15, Kayla McBride. Number 16, Chelsea Gray. Number 17, Brittany Griner. Number 18, Skylar Diggins. Number 19, Jewell Loyd. Number 20, Ryan Howard. Number 21, Aaliyah Boston. Number 22, Dearica Hamby. Number 23, Alicia Gray. Number 24, Ezzy Magbagor. And number 25, Angel Reese. Now, that's a decent 25 right there. I'm not going to lie to y'all, okay? Like, it's interesting. However, here's my expectations. Personally, here's my expectations, all right? So, I have Breanna Stewart, Napheesa, and A'ja Wilson as the top 3. Just rearrange the order a little bit respectfully. Stewie is the defending champ back-to-back. Right? Not back-to-back. Like, let's see if she can go back-to-back. But reigning champ, I got to throw her in there. You know what I'm saying? And then Napheesa Collier with what she did last season, number 2. I think it's fair to say she number 2. Like, they were in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. We got to throw them there. And then A'ja Wilson for number 3. They're the top 3 for me in the WNBA. I've talked about that before, so it is what it is. If y'all noticing, I have number 4 as Alyssa Thomas, 5 Nneka Ogwumike, Rika. Like, y'all might be looking at the listing and saying, all right, where is Caitlin Clark? I do drop Caitlin based on my own personal expectations. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sophomore that we're talking about. Her rookie season was just last year. There are a couple other players who have more history in the WNBA. They have been dominant in the WNBA at some point in time in their career. Not saying Caitlin hasn't had a good season. She wasn't playing. She was hooping. Don't get me wrong. Alyssa Thomas, Nneka Ogwumike, Arike Ogunbowale, Sabrina Ionescu, Brittany Griner, Jonquel Jones, Satou Sabali. All of these players have had notable WNBA careers thus far. I can't quite throw Caitlin Clark defensively over those players right now. Then you got Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Ryan Howard. I have Caitlin Clark at number 14. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to have her outside the top 10. And this is my expectations. Because, well, let's look at the top 25 listing, right? And let's really dissect this. So obviously, when we talk about teams like the Aces and Liberty, they have pressure. Okay, they're going to have pressure regardless. The Aces have 4 players in the top 20. The Liberties have 3 players in the top 10. All right. So the needs, they have everything. The X factor, injury during the free season. Are they going to have an injury-free season? That's it. Like, that's what we're paying attention to. Okay. But when you put Caitlin Clark at number 4, yes, we do have pressure on the Indiana Fever, ladies and gentlemen, because of all the acquisitions that they acquired, right? ESPN gave them the number 4, the number 13, and the number 21 player. Based on my expectations, I have number 14, number 19, and number 24. For me, their needs are the cohesion time frame, and their X factor is, can Aaliyah Boston dominate, and can CC, Caitlin Clark, can she cut down the turnovers? Remember, again, she was averaging about 6 last year, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of turnovers. So if we can cut those down, I know a lot of people are talking about her teammates were dropping the passes. It was primarily Caitlin. Offensive fouls are turnovers as well, too. So if we can cut those down, this team could go the distance. But because of how ESPN rates her, We have to put pressure on them. If they don't make it to the finals and win, is that a bust season? Because again, y'all have the number 4 player. That's what we're talking about. And she's a sophomore too. Let's pump the brakes on this because now we're adding unnecessary pressure. And I think DeWanna Bonner made a wonderful statement. They haven't won anything. So let's chill out on that. How about a team like the Mercury, who I think do deserve pressure right now, a little bit of pressure, because their big 3 is pretty stout. ESPN has them rated number 5, 11, and 12. Off my expectations, that's number 4, number 10, and number 15. So when you have Alyssa Thomas, Satu Sabali, and Kalia Copper, ladies and gentlemen, you really just got to ask, do you have enough supporting cast? And that's their needs. Figuring out if their supporting cast is sufficient, because that big 3, they can dominate. Now, there's a question mark around that dominate, because can they dominate enough to win a championship? That's what we're trying to figure out this season, if the supporting cast ain't good enough. But those are my 2 biggest question marks. And that's why the X factor and the needs are both around the supporting cast. If they have good bench support, they straight. If they don't, it could be an interesting season. But again, ladies and gentlemen, teams like the Phoenix Mercury, teams like the Atlanta Dream, they deserve a little bit of pressure because of where I have them ranked. I don't have sophomores in this argument. Like Ryan Howard, okay, granted, the rankings might even favor the Fever in this situation, right? Because the Atlanta Dream, I have them rated as number 17, number 20, and number 23 in terms of their big 3, right? Are they enough to dominate in terms of Ryan Howard, Brittany Griner, and Alicia Gray? Now, that team is stout, and I expect them to be fighting for that contention spot. I need Brittany Griner to be in the depoy conversation. I need Ryan Howard to start inching into that MVP conversation, because those are things that are actually doable, at least in my personal opinion. And again, the bench support goes for the X factor this time, because they have the team, they have the depth. It's just about the execution. Now, Jordan Canada's injury is going to be a little interesting. I'm going to note that, but that's at the beginning of the season. If she's able to come back healthy, I got extreme expectations on the Dream being contenders. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about sophomores. But let's move on down to the Seattle Storm, because again, based on ESPN's rankings, they got the number 8 player, the number 18 player, and the number 24 player. I personally have them as follows. Number 5, shout out NECA, you know what I'm saying? Number 18, all right, Skylar. And number 22, Ezzy. Or did I have that backwards? Let me make sure. No, I had that backwards. That's what I thought. Skylar number 22 and Ezzy number 18. Because again, these girls can hoop. That's a solid big 3 right there. Do they have enough supporting cast? Which the need is, can they play to their potential? Because the big 3 is solid, but the big 3 also got to play to their potential as well, too. I'm looking at Skylar. I'm looking at Ezzy. I'm not as much NECA, but NECA can dip too at times as well. But again, overall, this big 3 should qualify for the playoffs, should execute well enough. Players like a Jordan Horston, I'm looking at you because I need you to flourish now. You have to. Jewel Lloyd's gone. They need more help. Also, you got a Dominique Malonga, so I am expecting her to ball out as well too. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that's a rookie. I ain't trying to put all that pressure on her right now. Peep the trend. Again, y'all are putting a lot of pressure on a sophomore. Let's pump the brakes. Caitlin Clark is a good player. Like I just talked about Dominique Malonga, though. She's a good player, too. Good potential. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all want to pump the brakes on this. But again, ladies and gentlemen, ESPN's rankings, we got to ask, are these really accurate? Are these really fair? Because for the Fever, if so, that's 3 players in the top 25. And let's not forget, too, they got 5 players in the top 50 for the fantasy rankings that ESPN gave off. So if we're following ESPN, ESPN putting a lot of pressure on the Fever and a lot of pressure on Caitlin Clark. So I'll be curious to see how ESPN covers the Fever and Caitlin Clark, how the fans and stands of Caitlin Clark deal with the Fever if they win or lose. That's going to be fun to see. But overall, like I said, the listing, it was cool. I had a couple gripes about it. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, these are my overall expectations for this year's WNBA season. I'm curious who y'all lean more with, myself or ESPN. Y'all know where I land. So that's why I said I'm curious where y'all stand. But that does conclude the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. So I greatly appreciate y'all for listening and definitely want y'all to let me know what y'all think about my listing as well as ESPN's. But hope y'all all are staying tuned and tuning into the WNBA because it's definitely been a hoot and a half thus far. But I got to go finish. I'm about to go watch some more hoops my daggone self. So hope y'all enjoyed it. But definitely please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the WNBA and my show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all are having a good one. Take care.